think if you've watched some of my videos up till now, it wouldn't be surprising to know that my worldview revolves around something like the belief that people treat and judge you differently based on how you carry yourself in public and your appearance in general, how the halo effect exists, and how my accumulated experiences reinforce that kind of belief, even though I hope it may not be, as black and white in actual real life scenario in the broader terms of things. And so being aware of where I stand and how I am when I am in public, I've just learned to not expect much from strangers at all, because I think it's a very realistic world where especially I guess maybe in more East Asian cultures where people are really just living in their own bubbles, even just walking up to a person unprovoked to talk to them and have conversation, people tend to be very skeptical of your intentions. And of course, my upbringing is not exempt from that sort of culture. My parents have always taught me to not trust strangers and that kindness is never really given for free. But for me, for someone on the other end of the stick, someone that has been through being systematically bullied in many social instances, I chose to believe differently. I hope to do actionable things that reflect the sort of kindness that I wish to have received when I was younger. In a way, I guess you could say that I wanted to become somebody that might have helped the younger you. And I'm sure this sort of idea has been explored quite extensively on media. I had a hangout with some friends a few days ago. I had a few incidents happen in the hangout which encompassed almost everything about my current worldview on this matter. I had an opportunity on that day to help a kid out. We were in an indoor theme park where we had to carry our donut gliders, the things that look like water life buoys, to the top of the slope. So you could sit onto one of them and you slide down. And there was a kid in front of me. When he was climbing the slope, he slipped or something. The glider that he was carrying just fell all the way back down to the bottom. And so me being at the bottom, I just asked him whether he needed help to, carry the glider up top. And obviously this was just a minuscule gesture, something that any normal person could have offered and not have a second thought about it. It made me feel, unusually great because, for someone that is always surrounded with people that question your intentions or are performative with their actions, something as simple as just offering a helping hand genuinely to make a kid's day better it's refreshing. It's great. And so that's incident number 1, which we will get back to later. After having fun at the indoor theme park, we went to an outdoors park. Me and my friends rented a few bikes and we rode around the park. We went separate ways shortly after, and while I was riding on my own, the chains on my bike snapped. Luckily, I didn't crash into anybody, but while I was running really with the bike to the rental shop again, I sort of tripped and fell. It was pretty bad actually. I think I clipped myself on the bike while I was running and I kind of got myself entangled in it. I had a really bad fall because I was running with my bike. Some of the injuries here you could see where I scraped my elbow and I almost lost my freaking pinky finger. So I crashed. I tripped on myself. Basically, I remember very vividly that I was just laying on the floor for a few seconds because, 1, it's embarrassing, and 2, it's dumb. It's funny. Looking at somebody tripping over their own broken bike is a pretty funny sight to behold. And while I was just replaying that scene in my mind, I was laying on the floor without even being aware at the time of, the injuries that I've received. I hear some nearby noises. Some people talking, some people noticing that I had a pretty bad fall. I hear them saying, "Oh, somebody fell. Oh shit, that guy tripped. "Oh guys, let's go, let's go." And out of all the bystanders, it wasn't surprising to me that no one really came to help, which is kind of sad now that you think about it. I picked my bike up and continued walking to the rental area to return the bike and perhaps get a new one before my time expires. And that was incident number 2. It was just something that confirms my worldview, something that I already believe to happen, something that I already expect. It didn't really upset me, honestly, because this is just reality. Not everyone is obligated to help somebody in an accident, through hardship, or anything like that. Fast forward to when I was returning home after the accident. I couldn't really find any plasters or bandages to actually wrap the wound up, so I was kind of holding my hand like this, so my elbow would be like kind of extended, in hopes that the wound would actually seal itself in time with the blood clotting, or like it transforming into some sort of scab before I get home at least. And so I was holding it like this, but obviously with an injury that was pretty deep at the time and pretty fresh. There was blood dripping. It looked pretty horrible, but it didn't feel that bad. I was just standing there with a lot of people around me. It was packed. It was on the weekend. The next day was a Monday. Everyone was trying to get home and prepare for the week. And so I was expecting no help, because I mean, at this point, if no one really helped me while I crashed on the floor at the accident, why would I expect help when nothing is even happening? I'm just holding my arm out. But there was a couple in front of me. They were seated. At first, I didn't even really notice that they were there. Honestly, I was also living in my own bubble. I have pretty much the social awareness of a potato. And so while I was standing there and thinking about how deviously painful the shower is going to be when I get back, I feel a light tap on my hand, which brought me back to my senses, and the young couple in front of me offered me some tissue. Wow. I was really kind of taken aback. At first, I rejected it because tissue wasn't really the item I was looking for, and I also thought that if I wiped away the scab that was kind of half forming, it would have just wasted my efforts of not getting a bandage in the first place. I said it was okay, and I thanked them. I don't know if, well, they probably thought I was foolish, especially with a wound that looked pretty graphic at the time. But right after I thanked the couple in front of me for offering me some help, I feel another tap to my left. This time I was standing in the middle of the cartridge. Another family. It was a family of like parents, I think in their 40s to 50s, and their sons. And the mother offered me 2 bandages. I didn't even know that the family was standing next to me. That's how closed off I was, I guess, in my own world. I was in shock, but I tried to refuse. I said, oh no, it's fine. My station is only a few more stops away. And I really appreciated it and everything. I was bowing almost 180 degrees, but they insisted, and so I took it. They offered me 2 bandages, just wide enough to cover the entire wound without any leakages. If they offered me the plaster, I might as well just show them my gratitude for using it. While I was taking it apart, a couple of friends behind me, this time I think they were a pair of girlfriends around the same age as me, who has offered to help me put on the bandage, because I was kind of one-handed at the time, and I was also carrying some stuff from the outing. And so at that point I don't even know what to say, because I mean, I don't know. I know they said it out of perhaps courtesy, or well, I don't even know. But the fact was, they offered. No matter their intentions, no matter if it was performative, maybe the friend just wanted to show that they are someone that is kind or caring. No matter the fact of what their motives are, consciously or unconsciously, they still offered. That kind of changed me that day. For the rest of the train ride, I was so conflicted. I thanked everybody that offered me help, people who I have not even noticed their existence before they came to talk to me. I had my doubts at first, which I am kind of disappointed in myself for even having doubts, but it was just a habit. I was suspicious. I linked it back to my own worldview, questioning myself. I was questioning the motive, the intentions of the people who offered help. The couple who sat in front of me, the family who gave me plasters, and the pair of friends that even offered to help me put the plaster on. What is going on? I was questioning myself. Did I dress better today? Is it because I dressed better? Is it because my hair looked styled a certain way in that exact moment? Was it because I looked less ugly than usual? I was thinking whether they would have done the same things if it was me from 3 years ago, when I haven't really improved myself to the extent of the present. But then it came to me. I thought, why do I need to know whether their motives are pure or genuine before I even allowed to accept the kindness that they offered me? Hypocritically, I think that if I thought this way, obviously even my own kindness is not outside of criticism. I could say that in the first incident where I helped the kid, I was only helping the kid because internally it would make me feel good. It would make me feel like I've become a better person. In the end, I was offering help and I was showing kindness because in the grand scheme of things, it still benefited me as well. Would I have really offered kindness if I didn't think of that way? If I didn't think that I would feel better after helping the kid? Even despite all this questioning, even despite I like to believe that I did offer help and the kindness really did came from my heart, I helped the kid, and I think that's really all that matters. In the end, the actionable thing that I did was I carried the kid's glider up to the top of the slope. In the end, the couple in front of me still offered tissues. In the end, the family still gave me plasters, and the people behind me still offered to help me put it on. Disregarding whether or not I accepted their kindness, it was there. It was real. And so maybe I should think of it as something actionable instead of, the motives behind it. Especially for things as trivial as this. Who cares what the motive behind the family giving me 2 plasters is? Maybe I should view kindness less critically instead of something like a quality label that I try to wear or put on other people. I should just reduce it to something as simple as an action. Despite the motives behind it, especially for things as trivial as helping someone carry things, helping a grandma carry grocery bags to her car, helping somebody up from an accident, or just doing something that helps other people. Of course, through this incident, I don't think the world has changed in my eyes. It's not like I think people have gotten kinder in general or more forgiving towards individuals with a less of an appealing appearance. I still think my worldview generally has retained the same beliefs. I still know that people are pretty cruel. I still know that how you are perceived by other people will affect how they treat you. But I guess what I'm trying to say was my worldview was incomplete. There are people that notice you, or at least I want to believe that. Maybe starting from now, I want to be those sort of people too, instead of just living in my own bubble and thinking that the world is such a grim place. I could be even kinder.